and ask, or if you're not comfortable asking directly, you can type your question to the host and the host will ask whatever you want. Any question? Or is everybody an expert? Just like the sage in Upanishad, you see what he sees, or not yet?
Ekta ji, can you repeat the third one? The third tip.
I will. Sure. So the third one is to see, does this exist outside of my awareness? For example, I have a cup here. Do I have proof that this exists? I am going to leave it in the kitchen, on the kitchen counter, clean up the entire kitchen, just leave it on the kitchen counter, have a camera recording it. And I'm going to go and sleep. When I wake up in the morning, then I'm going to say, oh, but the camera has recorded it. When I was in deep sleep, this cup still existed. That means the waking exists apart from me, the awareness. This is the logic you would come up with to prove something that exists apart from me. Where are you seeing the recording? Where are you seeing the recording of this cup? Aren't you seeing it in your awareness? Do you recognize this? You cannot prove it that this exists apart from your awareness. That is the third point. Nothing. Now, I have just taken a very simple example of a cup. I'm talking about your spouse, your parent, your beloved child. I'm talking about your dear money that you hold on to, your car, your gadgets, whatever. Job, title, position, name, fame. All of it. Can it exist apart from me, the awareness, me, the witnessing consciousness field? Can it exist apart from me? This is what you need to prove to yourself. Do not believe the sage blindly. The first verse itself is consciousness in motion. This is consciousness in motion. Why? Because it has a name and form. That field which is aware of this, that which knows this, that is at rest. Both are one. That is formless. This is form. Seeing this, when you see this, then you have really seen verse 1. That's why I'm giving you a few tips here and there to start working on yourself. Do a little self-inquiry. If it's hard to do of your own accord, join the weekly sessions. There's one new session starting on Mondays, one new session starting on Sundays. Slowly, these things start opening up. Oh yes, I cannot prove that my own son or daughter exist when I am not. When I, the awareness, am not. When I, the witness consciousness, am not. Slowly, everything starts appearing and disappearing. Slowly, you see, oh, the wiper of the now really wipes away everything. Everything that Ekta says. Here she says it and it's wiped away. Here I'm looking at Ekta's face and it's wiped away. A thought of my own son or daughter arises and it's wiped away. A feeling of liking this or disliking this arises and it's wiped away. Oh, there is nothing that is permanent. Everything is mitya. Mitya? It appears to be, but it is not. That is the literal translation of mithya in English. Ekta appears to be, but she is not. The parent appears to be, but the parent is not. The child appears to be, but it is not. The money, the name, the fame, the world appears to be, but it is not. What does that mean? Means it arises just like a wave and it is gone. It arises just like a wave and it is gone. The world is not really how I conceived of it, how I thought of it. I thought it to be permanent. The parent is permanent, continuous. The money is permanent, continuous. The name, fame is continuous, permanent. Yeah, but Advaita Vedanta says, no, look carefully. Everything is being wiped away by the wiper of the now. Again, wiper of the now, these are words that Ekta has come up with in her own poetic flair. You won't find the words wiper of the now anywhere. Basically, consciousness at rest wipes away consciousness in motion. That's how you'll see it in the scriptures. Clear? So the third one is, does this exist apart from me, the awareness? Start with little experiments. Volunteers, please post some self-inquiry meditations for the newbies so they can work on these little aspects. There are, I think, almost 200 self-inquiry meditations. Every inquiry is for different aspects. Yeah? So there are inquiry meditations on recognizing how the world does not exist apart from me. Okay? You start with small things. You start with an orange, an apple. Yeah? Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. And then slowly you move to your parents, your family members, your money. And slowly you gather the courage. Oh yes, this is the truth. Something within me knew, but because of the attachment to the beloved one, I don't want to see this truth. Slowly you stop blinding yourself. You remove your own blinders. That's all the process is about. Yeah, I cannot do anything. Just a moment. I cannot do anything else other than helping you remove your own blinders. I am not removing your blinder. I cannot. You have to remove your own blinder. Yes? So first prove it to yourself that exists apart from you, the awareness. Yes, please continue with your question.
No, it is not existing without my awareness.
That is the third point.
And so it is unreal.
No. It's not real, it's not unreal. For example, the ghost came in your dream. There was real fear, real sweating, real running away. Everything was, there was so much stress. And then you get up from the dream and there is the waker, and the waker says, I know the ghost is not real, but that whole fear, the scenario, the sweating, the running away, that was there. I know that. I felt it. I was there. Why? The witness had become one with the dream character and the dream world story. That's why all that felt real. Yeah? Yet I cannot say that the dream did not occur. Yeah? So I'm not saying that all this is unreal. What I am saying, it is mitya. It appears to be, but it is not true. Yeah, because that which is true is permanent. It's like a straight line. It cannot come and go. It cannot appear and disappear. The truth is always the truth. It cannot be lies. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Yeah, it has to be permanent and continuous. Because it is not permanent, because it is not continuous, it is called an illusion, mitya. Yeah, that's why that word has been adopted into English to explain it. Because there is no real word in English. Yeah, that's why learning that word is important.
Thank you.
There are a few questions on the chat.
Yeah,
Ektaji?
sure.
Swapna Nitra Jnana Sadhana. Where can I start learning more?
There are 2 books already on Amazon that are available. Shalini, can you please post the link in Flock? Everybody is on Flock. Whoever's asked this question, are you on Flock? Yeah, so she'll post the link on Flock. You can order the book. Even better, start with a weekly session. Every week, the participants are taking a Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana command and allowing the waker to disappear and recognizing, oh, the waker is gone, I'm still there. Now there is some dream, and then the dream is gone, I'm still there. Yeah? Till you reach this recognition, you must be consistent, have patience with yourself, and continue. Take one command from that book every day. Yeah? Join the book club. The book club is a flock channel where you just post that this is my today's command. It's like trying to inspire yourself and keep yourself motivated to continue the sadhana. It helps you.
Next question.
Hmm.
Could you please expand more that everything is already projection?
Huh.
The witness consciousness already projected it by its desire, and it is getting manifested only later.
Yeah.
How can the entire projection already have happened?
It's not happened, it's happening. It's happening. That is the karma part of it, no? Okay. Let me explain the karma part again. To begin with, in Brahman, there is no desire. Yeah? That is the nature of Brahman, desirelessness. Let me pull up an appropriate picture for that. Here. Just black. Nothing. Desirelessness is the nature of Brahman. Its original nature. But suddenly it itself deviates from its own nature and has the desire to exist, to be, to know itself, to experience itself. It just wants to know itself. It does not want to do anything or experience the world or create something. It has no such intention. Only one intention, to know itself. Yeah, that's why the most important question on the spiritual path is, who am I? You've heard this many times from many sages. That is the only pertinent question. Who am I? That is the primary inquiry that appears in Brahman. Who am I? Not in English, not in Telugu, not in Tamil, not in French, not in German, not in a language. It's just that question mark. Who am I? That's it. Yeah. So this is that. The first bubble. It is a projection. This is exactly what I have explained in detail in the book Adhyasa Drishti. The weekly sessions are starting tomorrow. I cannot explain the entire book to you in a 5-minute answer here. I'll just try to give you it in a small capsule, but please attend that. That will help you. So when Brahman has that question, who am I? The sense of I comes up. You get the same experience when you come from deep sleep. In deep sleep, there is nothing, not even the sense of I. Do you recognize this? How many of you recognize this? There is no sense of I. Yeah. Suddenly, in that nothingness, in that nobodiness, there is a sense of I. I that knows the nothingness. Do you recognize this? To know the nothingness, the I has to arise. So this is your own direct seeing in your deep sleep. You have just been ignoring it. That's all I keep telling you. Now when you see, oh, yes, that sense of I is knowing the nothingness. That's exactly how Brahman has the recognition, I am, but I don't know what I am. What is my identity? And then it starts projecting identities. That is when you have the dream come up. Any dream. Again, I pulled the waking up, I think. Yeah, that's the dream. Any dream comes up. It is only a projection of a desire. Whether I love something or I hate something, I project it in the dream. And how will you prove it to yourself that I have projected this? There will always be a familiar element in the dream. It has to be familiar, whether you hate it or you love it, whether you're jealous or you're angry or you're compassionate, whether it is a sensual, sexual dream or whether it is absolutely rubbish, gibberish, making no sense, no sequence, not even in proper language. Yeah. Still you will find a familiar element there. That's how you know, oh, I have projected this. Either I have projected of my aversion or out of my craving. Yeah? In Sanskrit, the terminology is raga dvesha. Yeah? This is the crux of every spiritual path. Whenever they explain projection, they tell you to look at your own raga dveshas. Yeah? I will not be able to point out what are Neetu's raga dveshas, correct? Neetu has to recognize, oh, I, the witness of Neetu, had this raga, and that's how I projected this dream. Yeah, or I had this dvesha, and that's why I projected this dream. Only you can recognize those inner hidden cravings and aversions. Yeah? Now this is about the dream, how you recognize in your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. Waking is even easier. Very easy, in fact. I would say, you had the craving to listen to this kind of knowledge and you have projected this session. Do you recognize this? Yeah. Do you remember the flash in the mind, the little feeling of I want to listen to wisdom? Yes? From that little sukshma mithya bubble came this sthula mithya. This projection has come from your own desire. Many times you have a desire, oh, I want to eat strawberries today. And you go to the kitchen and coincidentally your family member has put a bowl of strawberries out there. And you're like, wow. Oh, I had the intuition that we're going to eat strawberries. You create all stories. No, there's nothing like intuition. It is simply sukshma mithya projecting as sthula mithya. You are projecting your own desires again and again and again and again. Yeah? How to see it is clear. Now the karma part of it. When I get entangled, when I say, oh, I am the waker and I had this intuition that you were going to get strawberries or we are going to eat strawberries. I wanted to eat strawberries, whatever. I'm putting strawberry, you put your husband, wife, your relationship, your girlfriend, boyfriend, etc. there. Yeah, substitute strawberry with that. Whenever there is that little doership, that experiencership, that entanglement, that story creation, the story creation doesn't stop at one line. It multiplies, it multiplies, it multiplies. I bring up that instance of intuition. I bring that instance of intuition. I say, oh, I'm such an intuitive person. First of all, you're not a person. You just betrayed yourself by saying you're a person. Second, you said you're an intuitive person. But that's a lie. It's simply a projection. You are causing moment to moment to moment to moment to happen. Moment to moment. Yeah, this starts opening up. When you start recognizing, yeah, I am projecting, I am projecting. First of all, you have to recognize I, the witness, am projecting. The waker cannot project. The waker itself is the projection. Yeah, I hope you didn't lose this in the explanation. I, the witness, am projecting constantly. And you'll start seeing, yes, all these little things happen. Yeah. So you have to see it. Ekta can only explain a few random examples of strawberries and financial problem and this thought and that thought, but you know your real craving and aversion, right? I cannot point that out. That you will have to do. That little work is done in the weekly sessions. I give you homework. I tell you to look deep within, find your own attachments. When I say attachments, it's nothing but craving and aversion. Yeah. Any other question?
I have a question.
I have a question, Dharam here.
Sure.
Namaste, Devi. Devi, you spoke about a mental flash coming before the actual situation comes out.
Yeah.
Right. So, I've been trying to follow the teachings for a few months, and I do feel that I'm aware. I'm just witnessing a few things. Like when I'm just taking bath, I just witness that I'm taking bath or I'm shaving. Even now, I'm trying to envision that, I'm just witnessing someone asking this question.
Beautiful.
So, but there are times where I get angry with people, and there are situations where I am going wrong. So this tip is very useful that you told me about, wherein as soon as I would I'm getting aware of the situation, I can cut it. Right?
Yes.
Or as soon as
Yes.
the witness comes into the picture, the witness can cut it.
Yes.
But if it's a black and white thing, then I would know that I do not want to get indulged in a certain situation. So I'm just a little confused about. I don't know if I can even take a decision. So I'm just.
You cannot.
this
Yeah,
question.
you cannot take a decision. Very good. You came up to
Yeah.
that. Do you realize in that situation the waker is getting angry with person X?
Something.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I am at a distance knowing this waker is getting angry. And I don't want the waker to get angry. But the waker is
Right,
continuing
right.
to say what. Yeah. Then you know
Yes.
that it is a part of the waker waking world cycle.
Right.
Now here, again, word of caution given by Saint Kabir, that here you can now start using this knowledge in a perverted way and say that, oh, it is all happening. You will be angry intentionally and say it is all happening. No. Then you're going down the rabbit hole. You're lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as I was asking the question, I kind of realized that I'm not taking the decision anyway, so the decision is going to come
Yes.
by itself.
So what I teach in Gurukul, I cannot teach so much in depth in a weekend session. I'll just tell you what I tell them in Gurukul to start working on a particular point here. When there is the sukshma mithya, the subtle thought, before it becomes gross, there is a gap. Yeah, they've been practicing a long time, the Gurukul students. They recognize, oh, that gap is nothing but the viper of the now, which is in the background. And this wave of subtle thought comes, peaks, and it disappears. Before the next wave begins, there is a little gap in the middle. Hold on to that gap. Even if it is between two sentences, between two angry sentences, you will notice a gap. Even if it is between two hateful feelings, you will notice a gap. Even if it is between two ugly thoughts, there is a gap. They've been working on identifying that little gap. Yes. That's where you hold on to. That's how you get out of the vicious cycle. And the rest of whatever story continues, that karma you do not accrue. You accrue the one prior to the gap.
Right.
Clear? So this is one tip that I can tell you. But if you're serious about it, I would insist that you join the weekly session and start working on the journals.
Sure. I'll continue to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question, Ekta Bathija.
Yeah.
So today, multiple episodes happened where I could have definitely blurted out, angry, created a havoc in the house. But I don't know what happened. There were 3-4 events that happened back to back, and every time I did not register even once in my mind a raga or a dvesha or anything. And to me, there was not even a moment where there was any sukshma mithya or sthula mithya. It is just not the way that I have been even after many meditations. I wanted to know from you what would have happened, because the only thing that I can see was that something was just happening.
Yes. You have recognized you are the witness. That is what has happened.
But Most of the times, there's a pause where I take a pause. Then I need to take a step back, relax, think. That is the way I sometimes get myself to an awareness, because obviously when I'm doing multiple things, sometimes awareness gets lost.
Yeah.
But today there was nothing like that.
Yeah. Because
just
today
never happened.
today the knowledge is going on. Yesterday the whole thing was like finish the self-inquiry and come. So you've been in that zone. That is what I'm trying to explain. That is what a weekly knowledge session does to you. Keeps you in the zone.
I mean, it was effortless.
Yes, that is the meaning.
Like, I'm not doing anything.
Correct.
Up till now, it was like you remind yourself of a knowledge session, and then you take a step back from the situation.
Yeah.
But today it was like I'm just flowing like a river. Something came, somebody blurted out, it did not get registered. It's okay. There was not even it's okay in my mind.
Yes, because witnessing is a natural state. It is your natural state. Somebody is speaking on a phone and we can hear your conversation. Please, can you mute yourself? Yeah, okay. The witnessing is natural. Yeah, like this, as you have started recognizing today, this will blossom and become bigger and bigger. And you will start saying, oh yeah, I am the witness. I am not this body-mind called Tara. And soon you will be able to disassociate with Tara completely. You'll start recognizing Tara operates in her waking world automatically. And it was always like that.
Yeah.
I used to ignore it. That's it. Now let this become bigger and bigger.
Because when you said it's like a machinery, I was like, why do I always wanted to control till now? Because because it's only your controlling thing that creates a pattern. And today, everything happened which I always used to control.
Yes.
Tightly. And when I unconsciously, I don't know whether it's unconsciously, consciously, at least I did not make an effort. I did not remind myself of the knowledge point or whatever. It was just flowing out of me.
Yes.
And
beautiful.
It was amazing.
Yes, that is your nature. That's what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is nothing new. You are the witness. You are just fooling yourself that you're Tara. Speak about Tara in the third person now, going forward. The way I speak about Ekta, that's how you speak about Tara in the third person. Yeah, Tara is hungry. Okay, Tara did a good job. You'll get out of that thing of saying, I am great, I did a good job, I am experiencing, I am doing. That will go away. Yeah, obviously where in an office setup you have to use, for the sake of communication, you use I. But at home try to teach your people that this is the way I'm going to speak and don't mind it. I like to call Tara in the third person. And if you have a cooperative family, they will laugh at it. Yeah, let it be a hilarious thing to begin with, but soon for you, it will become very real that, oh yeah, Tara is separate. I am the witness of Tara.
And I felt that it was very natural.
Yes,
very
it is.
Easy.
It is. In fact, now being Ekta is hard for me. I prefer being the witness of Ekta. No name, nameless, formless.
Exactly.
Yeah, beautiful. Good practice.
There are a few more questions on the chat, Ektaji.
Yeah.
The questioner, I think, on this is a little confused. The question is, how can I conclude that the dark, empty space of deep sleep is a mind?
Is a mind. No, it is not the mind. Okay. Can the questioner ask the question directly? Is that what you wanted to ask?
This is Amma, PV is remembering.
Yeah.
So I thought the darkness of the deep sleep is a mind just before.
It's just, the first part of it is an absence thought. Right now, as you are a beginner on this path, your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana must have not matured to this level to be ready to see it. But attempt to at least intellectually understand, because you know it. When somebody asks you the question, what was there in deep sleep? What do you say? Nothing.
Nothing.
That means you knew nothing. Means you were there and nothing was there.
Yes.
Yeah? So nothing is a blankness thought. Yeah, this has been given in the scripture called Panchadashi by Vidyaranya Swami. He has very beautifully described it. He says this is a tamasic thought. The tamas is in reaction to the rajas of waking and dreaming. Yeah, those who are not into Sanskrit, the blankness thought or the absence thought is a reaction to the motion of waking and the motion of dream. Brahman is so tired of that motion, it says, okay, I'm done with this. And it projects the absence of the waking and the dream. And that projection of the absence is what is deep sleep. Yeah? So, because you are a beginner, you might just see it as nothing. Nothing is a thought. Who said nothing? Yeah? So, there is an I and there is nothing. Yeah? There is a duality there. So you know that it is the mind, if that's how you want to call it, the mind. Yeah? It is still the mind. A point comes when even nothing is not known. How many of you recognize this about your deep sleep? Not there yet? Yeah? So those who are not there, attempt to see. Even nothing is not known. A point comes, yeah, in your deep sleep. Go deeper into your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana, you will come to this point. When that nothing is not known, that is when that blankness thought has collapsed. Or in PV's words, there is no mind. You've gone beyond. It is a seeing, PV. I cannot explain to you more than this. You have to see it. Yeah? When you see it, you see it. How much ever I explain, gulab jam is brown, it is round, it is very sweet, it is made from this flour and this is the methodology to make it. But you cannot taste it unless you take a bite, right? Exactly like that, you have to take a bite of the deep sleep, maintaining your stand as the witness. Only when you take a bite of it will you understand that flavor. I can only express it in broken words here. Yeah, but you have to really taste it. And when you taste it, you will know. You will come to me and you say, I know what you're saying. You might not be.
Didi, at that time, even though nothing is not, you are not aware, you do not know that in deep sleep there was nothing happen. But you feel rested, you feel lighter.
Yes, that's because you went to Turiya.
Those.
You are Turiya. You went to Turiya. You went to your own state. And Turiya also collapses.
So you come out of that state, you are still aware of that feeling.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, that should give you the confirmation that I knew that there is no blankness thought. That the absence that was projected has also been surpassed.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go to the next question, Ektaji?
Yeah.
Okay. There is a subtle restlessness feeling upon a mental projection, which is followed by a gross manifestation.
Yes.
The example given is desire to attend a live session and attending it. But the questioner thinks this is a conscious choice. So is this an accumulation of karma?
Who's conscious? Who's conscious? Does the waker have a choice? You think the waker had a choice to not be here? Is that even a possibility? The waker has no choice, darling. You have to recognize this. The waker is a part of the waking world. Whatever is being projected has to be seen by that audience. The whole theatre is being projected together. And the reels are just swiping left to right. The frames are going left to right. That's all that is happening. The waker doesn't have a choice. Yeah? Okay, now one level higher. Let's go to the witness consciousness. Does the witness consciousness have a choice? Once it has been projected that there should be this particular session, does the witness consciousness have a choice now? You think the witness consciousness can stop the waker from being in that waking world projection of this session? No. You cannot stop the projection. The projection will happen. That's exactly what we were talking, I think, two, three questioners ago, when he said that he is at a distance, but the angry words are continuing. What does this mean? Once it has been projected, it is going to manifest. You cannot stop the manifestation. Neither the waker can stop the manifestation, nor the witness can stop the manifestation. The only thing that the witness can stop is not assume doership and experiencership. Yeah? This tadatma that happens, this becoming one that happens with the doership and experiencership of the waker. Yeah? Only this can be withdrawn from. The situation cannot be withdrawn from. Is that clear? So whose choice is it? Is there a choice at all? Yeah. You can only choose one thing, either to stay as the witness or to fool yourself and pretend to be the waker. That's it. Besides that, the entire script is going to play as it was projected from your cravings and aversions. You cannot change that. Is that clear? Your cravings and aversions were fueled by you. You gave so much energy to that craving or to that aversion. That is your karmic projection that you will have to endure, whatever it is. Yeah, the only choice is whether I pretend to be the waker experiencing this or I stand as the witness. That is the only choice. Yeah, I hope I clarified this. The gap between sukshma mithya and sthula mithya. You cannot completely stop the sthula mithya. If it is meant to be projected, it will be projected, but you will not be a part of it. You will be at a distance. Just like Tara and I were discussing right now. The witnessing was happening automatically. She was at a distance. So many situations she said she would have reacted to earlier, but she did not react now. Do you see it? But the situation happened. If it was a family member doing some drama, that happened. Do you see what I'm trying to explain over here? Yeah. You will not be able to stop the projection from manifesting. The only choice you have is to either stand as the witness, as yourself, or to pretend to be the waker experiencing that. Clear?
The next question. I, the Brahman, to know myself, choose to stand in front of a mirror and project the image in front of the mirror. So do I, as Brahman, have the freedom to not stand in front of the mirror?
The problem is Brahman already has the question, who am I? So it has already stood in front of the mirror. Now you cannot say, okay, now I won't stand in front of the mirror. Am I blocking it? Okay. Can you see the mirror now? Yeah. Brahman, what the questioner is asking, Brahman is standing in front of a mirror, basically asking the question, who am I? And looking for an answer. When it's looking for an answer, it's actually projecting an answer. Do you recognize you project an answer when you're looking for an answer? Before Ekta answered this question, you had already projected the answer in your mind. Did you recognize that? Similarly, it has projected an idea of itself. And that idea is what is reflecting as the first reflection in the mirror. The first reflection. That is called the witness consciousness. That witness consciousness, is now reflecting again in the infinity of mirrors as the mind. Then the mind is reflecting as the body, and then the body is reflecting as the world. That's how there are infinity of images. Yeah? Maybe in this, the infinity of images is not shown, but there is like infinite images like that. That's how the world appears to be many. Yeah. Very simple. In Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana, in deep sleep, is there a sense of I? Is that first image there? No. You don't have the sense of I. Do you know there is nothing very clearly? Yeah? That's when you're standing by yourself without this question, who am I? Without that first image, without that first mirror. So that is the only option we have to recognize that that is my real nature. Yeah. I have already projected cravings and aversions. Do you recognize that? That is what has determined your lifespan. Who asked this question? What's the name?
I think it's Kirti.
Kirti. Suppose Kirti has projected a lifespan of 85 years. It has already been projected from the desire to live, from the desire to exist. And now that projected seed is going to show you those 85 years even if you get enlightened at 45. Yeah? So at 45, you may establish as the witness and never ever slip back into Kirti. You may become one with the truth. But because that seed has manifested 85 years of Jijivisha, you will see the pending 40 years. So even if you are no more standing in front of the mirror and saying, I am this and I am that you will have to recognize the falseness of the waker called Kirti for the 40 years. That you will have to endure. It will be a torture. It will be like, oh, why doesn't this stop? I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. But picture abhi baki hai mere dost. The movie still continues. No option.
Didi, but do I then always have the option to recognize that I am not in the mirror, but I am the nothingness?
Yeah. If you're enlightened, you will know I am not talking. Kirti asked the question. I did not ask the question. There will be an absolute clarity. In every action that Kirti does, there will be as if it's happening elsewhere. You know how you watch a movie, it's happening elsewhere, it's not happening to me? Like that. Sometimes you become entangled in the movie, no? You start crying along with the heroine crying and you start fighting with the hero doing action. Yeah? Then you're not enlightened. Yeah? So even once that slipping will not happen. When you are clear, I am the audience sitting here, I am not on the screen, you will never get fooled by the story on the screen. Never. Yeah. Aim for that.
And Didi, when you asked who asked the question, there was like the gush of I am arising. And then recognizing the gap so clearly.
Yeah.
Wanting to close the eyes to the reflection. The question was projected and the answer was also projected.
Yeah. Beautiful.
But I cannot close the eyes, right, to reflect. I have to see the reflection, yet know that I am not the reflection.
Yes. The reflection will continue. It's like a movie on the screen. The only difference is now the movie is boring. That is why I do not connect. I do not relate with Kirti anymore. That is what will happen. It will become a bland, boring movie, continuing. Okay.
And Didi, one thing, can today's command be, may I, the Turiya, recognize the nothingness in the deep sleep state.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Correct?
Yeah.
There are no further questions on the chat.
Okay, good. Anybody else has a question to ask?
Didi, even if you say in that blankness, in that witness, there is nothing, and you are practicing again and again to be reposing in that witness, abiding in it, not even slipping, not even once or fraction of second too. As you mentioned, is a blankness, is boring, but there's a wealth of knowledge comes out of it.
Yes, it's called insights. Yeah.
It's empty, but it's full.
Yes. It's beautiful
It's
to be
pearls-
there.
Like pearls of wisdom, the way you are sharing, it's coming from nothingness.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yes.
You are resonating that.
Yes.
But it is so full. It's like so rich.
Yes. Correct. Absolutely. But that happens only when you start seeing this movie as boring. All your previous attachments are boring. Everything is boring. Then only you'll stop jumping in and becoming one with the hero or the heroine, no? On the screen. Yeah. Start seeing this body-mind as nothing but a character on the screen. This is not me. I've got nothing to do with this body-mind person. Okay.
Maybe sometimes when being in that witness, the thought comes even about spirituality, right? Oh, I need to explain this to write this about my experience, or oh, where's the thought? So it's like that's the raga dvesha of spirituality, as well as is it the jivivisha that's trying to bring that I into picture?
Okay. If a thought arises, now there are two types of thoughts. If a thought arises and surprises me, I didn't know a spirituality thought was going to come up right now. Yeah. If a thought comes up of its own accord, it is not desire. It is not coming from Jijivisha. It is the past seed that I have already projected that is suddenly manifesting. How many of you suddenly had a thought and you're like, from where did this come? How many of you recognize this? That is called the first thought. Yeah, the first thought. That first thought comes up. Who recognizes it? I, the witness, recognize that first thought. Yeah. I have the option of staying at a distance and allowing the wiper of the now to wipe away the thought. Or I have the choice to grab onto that thought and start a story. I should do this, I should not do this, I should have been doing this, I'm such a bad person, I'm such a good spiritualist, I have been doing homework, blah, 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 blah. 15 minutes I am now mulling on this thought. Yeah. All these second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 15th, 100, 200 thoughts, these are the second kind of thoughts. Yeah, the second kind of thoughts are called vasana. This first thought is called vichara. It arises of its own accord from the flow. That is what I mean by everything is scripted for you, because you have already projected that seed. Yeah, and this is not just for thought. There is a first feeling, a first sensation, a first perception of sight, a first perception of touch, a first perception of taste. You got it, right? There can be any of those 8 arisings. They can be the first, and then there is the second. The second is what is called desire or vasana. Yeah, those who are doing weekly sessions, doing Gurukul, it's easier to dive deeper and start recognizing on a daily basis because you're doing journaling. Those who have not started journaling, once in a week, once in 6 months you do a knowledge session, obviously it's going to be new for you. Yeah, so start working on this on a regular basis and you will see oh, this thought came up of its own accord, and then I, the witness, jumped in and pretended that it is my thought. I took the doership of the thought, I took experiencership of the thought, and there was this karmic cycle that followed for the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. Yeah? This is the lightless realm. You've just created karma. It's not required. If the thought comes up, oh, I have to journal. Automatically the body moves towards the desk, picks up the journal, starts writing. How many of you started recognizing, oh, the body is writing on its own, or it's typing on its own, and I am only knowing? How many of you had a glimpse here and there? And then you think, no, people will think I'm a cuckoo, so I put it aside. I don't give attention to this truth. No, it is reality. The body-mind world work automatically on the first thought, the first feeling, first sensation, first perception of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. That's how the waker and its waking world operate. The first is what makes the operation happen. If you get out of the way, you, the witness, do not start second, third, fourth, fifth. Just get out of the way. You will see a series of firsts, automatically happening. And now I explain this in detail. Yeah. But you have to start seeing it. These are all words till you really see. So today I'll give you a little exercise to do after the session is over. Go for a walk. It's a weekend. Yeah. Your body needs a little exercise. Go for a walk. Step out of your home. Decide, this is the path I'm going to take around the neighborhood. Be very clear. This is the path I'm going to take around the neighborhood. I am the controller. I am the doer. I am making this decision. Yeah. Let me see how it doesn't happen. Yeah. And then start walking. I guarantee you, you will not be able to maintain the exact path. I guarantee you. Why? What will come in the way? Tell me. What will happen? Those who've done it. Bolo, bolo.
The body does.
Huh? One person at a time. Two people spoke together. It echoed. No, nobody's speaking.
Mine will come into play like, yeah, I don't want to hike, or I don't want to climb up the hill, or, all your hindrances, all your thoughts comes and, takes its own course.
Yeah. So, did you decide, I'm going to say, I'm not going to hike, I'm not going to take this up the hill road? It came of its own accord. So, what has come in the way? It's called the first. Yeah, the first thought. In her example, it's the first thought. For somebody, could you mute yourself? For somebody, it could be the first feeling. For somebody else, it could be the first sensation. For somebody, it could be the first perception of a beautiful flower. And there you start moving that way. You were supposed to take this route, and now you started moving that way. Yeah, you're attracted by the color of that flower, by that tree, and there you're out. That proves two things to you. One, I am not the doer. I cannot make a decision. I cannot choose anything. I cannot decide. I am not in control. This becomes very clear in this exercise. Number two, what becomes clear is the first always leads the way. That first perception of that purple flower on the ground, and you're like, wow, what a beautiful purple color. And then you look up, oh, those trees all have purple flowers. You were supposed to go right, and now you're going left because you saw the purple flowers. You don't even realize you've turned left. You've broken your decision. That's when you see, oh, the first is the first perception of sight of that purple color, whatever that came up. Yeah. Attempt to see what I'm saying. It's always the first. When you maintain your stand as the witnessing awareness field, you will never get enamored by any of this. You will just see that the waker and the waking world operate on the principle of the first. Yeah. Okay. Exhausted all the questions?
There are a couple more that showed up on the chat.
Okay.
This is, what is the role of other people in my projection?
They are your projection. They are your projection. You, the witness consciousness, have projected your parent. You, the witness consciousness, have projected your child. You, the witness consciousness, have projected your enemy. You, the witness consciousness, have projected a very mean boss. You have projected it out of your own cravings and your own aversions.
The next question. Sometimes I'm able to recognize the flow and it's beautiful. But in specific situations or people, there is some rigidness and no action taking place.
That is also that is also the flow. No action is also the flow. That rigidness is also the flow. Why does flow have to be all positive things and inaction and rigidity is not the flow? From where did you come up with this great idea? All is the flow. Pleasant is the flow, unpleasant is the flow. Happiness is the flow, unhappiness is the flow. The good is the flow, the evil is the flow. Everything is the flow. Yeah? The first. That's the meaning of the flow here. Somebody who has attended previous sessions is asking this question.
On chat, that is all.
That is all? Okay, good. Chalo. So now I will let you go. You have one exercise to do. You have 2-3 homeworks, 2-3 classworks that I gave to you. Not all of you completed them honestly. You should do them rest of the day, anytime you get during the rest of the day. Also go through the points again, because the next verse goes deeper. If the first few verses are not clear, the next verse will go over the head. Yeah? So see that you revise your notes and complete the homeworks or classworks that I gave you and you didn't complete. Yeah? And then go for your walk also. Prove Ekta wrong. No, I am in control. Go with that intention. I am going to show to Ekta that I am the doer. I am the decider. I choose. And I will stick to that path. You see, go with that determination. Yeah. But please go for a 30-minute walk. You've sat too long. The body is very stiff now. Give it 30 minutes to exercise. Chalo. And I'll see you tomorrow. Those who missed the self-inquiry, see that you are here on time. You were late today, some of you. Be here on time. An email goes out with the meditation time as well as the session time. Please follow that. Okay? And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.